One of the things that I'd really like to emphasize is visualization. Whenever you're trying to learn a particular topic, or if you're even working on a specific problem, to the extent that it is possible, try and make a small picture, a small visualization. And I think it really helps. And in that spirit, and in this video, what we will do is we will look at big O, big omega, and big theta through the lens of visualization. So let's start with big O. You've got the runtime versus the input size. And you've got this particular function, f of n. And what we have is another function, c times g sub n. C is a constant. Now remember, because c is a constant, c does not depend on n. So there exists an n naught such that for all n greater than or equal to n naught, f of n is less than or equal to c times g sub n. And if that is the case, as is apparent in the plot, then we say that f of n is order g sub n. Let's move to big omega. Again, you have the runtime versus the input size. We have a function f of n, and we have this other function c times g sub n. Again, c is a constant, it's a constant, so it doesn't depend on n. You'll notice that there's something different about this graph. Now what we have is we have an n naught such that for all n greater than or equal to n naught, now c times g sub n is less than or equal to f of n. And if that is the case, then we say that f of n is omega, big omega, of g sub n. And now shifting gears to big theta. Again, runtime versus the input size, and we have a function f of n. But now things change a little bit. We have a function c1 times g sub n. c1 is a constant. And then we have another function, c2 times g sub n. c2 is a constant. So now what we have is we have an n naught such that for all n greater than or equal to n naught, f of n is sitting sandwiched between c1 times g sub n and c2 times g sub n. And if that is the case, then we say that f of n is big theta of g sub n. So essentially what we've done is we've looked at big O, big omega, and big theta through the lens of visualization. And one suggestion, one recommendation is that whenever you're dealing with a concept, whenever you're dealing with a problem, try and see, to the extent possible, if you can create a simple visualization around it.